What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next720, and I am back with another video. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm have to redo this video again because the audio was kind of low in the last video. This is called dedication. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Check out Big Game of Small Talk, the podcast. Yesterday's show, great show. Mooch lost his mind as usual. Swing by our website, biggamersmalltalkpodcast.com. I will be giving away maybe a console of your choice, maybe some Astro A50s, probably to the most active user on the website. Something my personal way of saying thank you for rocking out and supporting us. Now, let's get right into it. Sony's not attending Gamescom, and like I said in the previous video, I think this is a big mistake and it's a big middle finger, where's the camera at, to their fans in Europe. Now, Gamescom is not just for the UK, it's not just for Spain, it's for the whole entire Europe. It's Europe's version of E3. You know what I mean? It's a huge event. Now, Sony didn't go last year. Like I said, PlayStation has a huge presence there in Europe. In fact, Microsoft not so much. They're pretty big in the UK, in the major countries over there. They're okay, but the smaller ones like Romania and this, that, and the other, nah, there's no Xbox there. So like I said, Sony has a big presence in Europe. Now, what I'm saying here, did Sony shoot their load at games? I'm sorry, at E3. You know what I mean? They showed a bunch of games. They're not coming out until 2025 when Planet X will be here to destroy the Earth. It's like, now, jokes aside, they showed a lot of games that probably they're not going to release them probably until about 2018. Even though, with that being said, you know, they can probably show the last game, will show us some multi-plats, but what people really want to hear and see are Sony's new consoles. Sony's working on a PlayStation 4 Slim, heavily rumored reported, and of course the PlayStation 4 Neo and PlayStation VR. You know what I mean? Like I said, Sony are releasing more hardware this year. So to get your consumer and your fans excited, I hate this damn light, excited and ecstatic about your new hardware, so you have to come out and talk about it. And I don't want to say like, hey, maybe they are probably running scared from the quote unquote the Neo. I'm sorry, not the Neo, the Scorpio, but they got to do something at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean. And plus, if take a page from Microsoft, but Microsoft came out and talked about their hardware, and right away the Xbox One sales went through the roof. Sold out on Amazon. Is the if not number 2 or number 3, the most pre-ordered item in Best Buy. The Xbox One S is doing extremely well. Why? Because Microsoft came out and talked about the hardware, got their fans excited and ecstatic, and also too, it give your gamers, your audience, time to pay off the console, pre-order it. You know what I mean? Some people don't have $500 just to drop in the blink of an eye. You know what I mean? Like I said again, I think them not coming to Gamescom is a huge mistake. I don't know if Sony's getting cocky again and saying, you know what, we got the gaming industry in the headlock. I don't know, but remember this, Sony, well, even to any Nintendo or Microsoft, it's us, the gamers, that make you, that empower you, and us in gamers that can take it all away. And like I said, I think this is a huge mistake because, again, Sony is tripling down on the PlayStation division and in hardware. You missed E3, which is the big stage, the big stage, and you're not coming to Gamescom. That's another big stage. You know, now it's heavily rumored again that they will be showing the device at Tokyo Game Show. But let's be real though, like, you know, Tokyo Game Show is no damn E3, and it's still no goddamn Gamescom. You know, the Tokyo Game Show doesn't hold as weight as it used to, because it's been real. Japan on the gaming scene is dying. You know, everything's made for the United States and for the UK, but for Europe. You know, that whole gaming scene in Japan, like that, you know, those Japanese RPGs and all that stuff. I understand they may have their cult following, but those games are niche titles and a small audience. I mean, we see the sales of One Piece Blood and those things. You know, Dragon Quest 42, no one really buys them. Like, guess again, most people like to talk about them, no one really buys them goddamn games. What rules, again, are multiplats or the big AAA exclusives. You know what I mean? Could you guys name me one big AAA Japanese type exclusive? Final Fantasy? Oh, okay, but it's not releasing in Japan first. And and again, I don't really care for Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy don't appeal to a lot of people, you know what I mean? But neither here nor there. But I like, listen, if you guys are rocking out with me and you follow me on Twitter, Zaire2005, look at my tweet that I left to EA Sports. I said, EA, could you please loosen up your monopoly on the NFL licensing for, for as Madden, and allow some competition? And this is coming from a Madden fan, but EA doesn't have an incentive to make a, turn that down, baby girl. EA doesn't have an incentive to make a better football game because there's no competition. It's only, Madden. I mean, dare yourself to be great. And I think, and the same thing applies to Sony and Microsoft. I think they're at their best when they're both on the big stage, duking it out and, lobbying for our dollars. You know what I mean? But here's the thing: it's not that, and I tell people this all the time. It's not that I want Sony to fail. I don't want a gaming world when it's just the Xbox or just Microsoft. No, that's no good. Or even you Sony guys, trust me, you don't want Microsoft to fail. You don't want a gaming world when it's just Sony. You know what I mean? Because without any competition, Sony doesn't have any incentive to put out a better game, AAA exclusives, or any goddamn thing, or even be competitive when it comes to pricing. You know what I mean? In fact, Nintendo, they're doing their own goddamn thing, painting 2-year-old faces. I don't even put Nintendo's in this Jesus Christ. I don't even put Nintendo, I'm sorry, in this equation. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about Microsoft and Sony. And to me, they're at their best when they're both duking it out, lobbying for the hardcore gamer. Even, like I said, look at this year's E3. To me, it's probably the best E3 that we've had in years. Sony fans were excited about what they got. Microsoft fans were excited. We're still talking about the Xbox One S. We're still talking about the Scorpio. And I'm saying, Sony, give your install base, your fans, the same opportunity. Like, what you decided for the specs of the console, for the it is what it is. You can't go back and change that. You know what I mean? I don't know if they could say they don't want to, go head up with Microsoft. And maybe Microsoft may give us some more information about the Scorpio at Gamescom. I don't know. But, what I mean? Like I said, maybe Sony shot their load at E3 as far as game. But if that's the case, Sony, come out there and show some multiplats. Show some more Watchdog footage or whatever the case may be, But, again, bring your hardware. Give us, the gamer, a chance to, get excited about your hardware and let us go out and reserve the goddamn thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think that they're bugging, and it's a big mistake. Now, it was heavily rumored again that they will bring this hardware, the PS4 Slim and the PlayStation 4 Neo, to Tokyo Game Show. But that's I've never seen that done before. A console being announced in September and going on sale in October, November. According to the internal documents that I read, the console is supposed to be out by October, November. You know what I mean? So September, you're giving people a month to save up $500 to go and pre-order your console. I think it's a big mistake, man. And just I don't know. I really don't know. Like I said, it is what it is. But I think they're giving the big middle finger to their diehard fans. You know what I mean? People, like I said, people want to get their chance to see God of War up in person. Maybe they may not have no more football. Guess what? Tell us how, Kratos got so old. Tell us about the new, tell us something. I think, again, this is a big mistake. This is the second year in a row Sony is not coming to goddamn Gamescom, And then you guys go out in the comment, what are they doing Paris, show week, Could you tell me what, like, come on, man, what the fuck? Paris show week, like, that's not Gamescom. Like, let's be fucking, like, let's be honest here. Again, it's a big mistake, man. And they're giving Microsoft the stage again to get still a show, man. It is what it is. But like I said, this video here is this footage is 15 minutes long for us, the gameplay. Now I'm gonna go back and, like I said, like I did in the last video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Street Fighter 5, the DLC for the campaign, for us the story. Now I'm gonna start off by saying this, like I said before, again. I haven't followed the Street Fighter universe, the characters, since about 2 or 3. So a lot of these characters, like my man on the stage right now, on the screen right now, with the Taiwan Fu outfit on, like, you know what I mean? I don't know anything about his character, how he got it, you know what I mean, whatever. Even I thought the guy, Birdie, the big guy that's eating, I thought he was a bad guy, just by his outfit. Like, I don't know anything about these guys. But I will say that the campaign or story, it looks like maybe like some like an animated cartoon, like a Japanese animated type cartoon. You know those type of like One Piece, Blood, or Naruto. It looks like a cartoon. It really looks good, graphic. It looks well. You know what I mean? Of course, the gameplay is over the top notch. Now the story to me very boring, very lackluster, very cheesy. If I had to compare the story of this to Mortal Kombat X, to me, Mortal Kombat X has a better story, better, a better storyline. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? But again, who plays fighters for the story? Now, the characters within this story, like I thought was nice. Sometimes you're playing as the good guy, sometimes you're playing as the bad guy. Right now, I call him Balrog, the fake Mike Tyson. Right now, I'm him right now. You know what I mean? I'm fighting a security guard or some shit, like whatever the fuck he is. It was like I said, it was a couple scenes like you had to fight the guards or whatever. I thought that was kind of slick. They introduced a bunch of new characters to the Street Fighter 5 franchise. Also, too, though, what I thought was kind of slick is that oh, I'm sorry, I'm fucking about to throw up right here. Jesus Christ, I feel so fucking nauseous. Sorry, back what I was saying. That I thought was kind of slick was that when when there wasn't a main character to fight or whatever, you fought against some of these I don't know what the hell you call them. Some of the ASDs, you know what I mean? You fought them. You fought as you put the good guys against the good guys within the story. I thought that was dope. And like I said, the gameplay of the Street Fighter thing is over the top. I give them that great is grade A. You know what I mean? So if you're a Street Fighter fan, you know what I mean, and you have a PlayStation 4, to me, and you were kind of turned off about the lack of content, there's no reason why you shouldn't own Street Fighter 5 now. I don't know. I think it's maybe like down to $40. It's a good game. You know what I mean? The story to me was a little weird. I can say that, but again, I don't follow the Street Fighter universe, you know what I mean? So it may be a little weird to me, you know what I mean? But it's about 2 hours long, 2.5 hours long, I give or take, as you play through the story, you know what I mean? It takes to the approach like what Mortal Kombat did with, if you played any Mortal Kombat of late, how they got the story, 1 minute you're this character. You're not taking the traditional one character and playing through the story, you're playing through everybody, through the eyes of everybody. Besides, but I don't think I played this by myself. No, I did. I played this by, you play as everybody so far. That's on the roster within the story. I mean, within the story, you play as everybody, as one point. Even like I said, they have a bunch of characters, Charlie or Nash, or the guy that looks like Guile. He's dead, and they brought him back to life. He doesn't have a soul, but to me, it's a little weird and wacky. They made him, before his body decays, to fight Bison. Now, you fight Bison with him, and you beat him. But I don't know what the hell. But maybe Bison tricked him. Next thing, when he goes to another scene, and you don't see him no more, so I don't know if the guy died or what. Then Ryu has to fight Bison. That's traditional, that Ryu fighting Bison. Now, if they don't have Sadat in here, maybe he might come in later on as a DLC character. There's no E Honda so far. There's no Blanca so far. I'm sorry. They have an emphasis on a lot of the new characters, which I don't really know. I'm more of a Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Guile. They did have Zangief in here, more of like on their thing, but they even have what's the guy named Dan? I believe his name was Dan, or whatever. This big strong guy with a gi on. He was trying to break into someplace. He went crazy or something. Like the story to me is all over the place. You know what I mean? It's But if you have been following, I guess, the Street Fighter universe, the storyline, you may enjoy it, you know what I mean? But it's just to sit down and play through the game. It's cool. It's a good game. Graphically, top notch. You know what I mean? Of course, gameplay is second to none. Shit is Street Fighter. You know what I mean? It looks good though. Graphic. It looks like a pixel, like a cartoon. This is the actual game. It looks good graphically. I forget the guy's name with the dreads. Like when they do like close up on him, like it looks really good. Like the character model, you see his dreads and shit swinging. Like it's really top notch, man. But anyway, this is your boy NextGen720. And there's probably about a minute left or so of the gameplay. Enjoy it. I'm about to re-upload this again, but it's your boy. I'm out of here, man. Bang, bang.